There's a lot of hysteria this week in Canadians finding out that ICE has 5 offices here in Canada. And no doubt, after watching what we've watched in the last number of weeks coming out of Minnesota and Minneapolis, the 2 murders by ICE agents of American citizens, simply trying to bear witness to what they are doing. This aggressive style of immigration, of going into cities and dragging people out of their homes and out of their workplaces. They say they're going after criminals, but time and time again, we see that it's just people who've been in the country for decades and who have jobs and pay taxes that are being stripped out of the country because they have to make it quota. So these guys have to make a quota. The offices in Canada are basically under the acronym HSI. And HSI stands for, what does it stand for? It stands for Homeland Security Investigations. So these in Canada, they work out of the embassy in Ottawa, the U.S. Embassy, Homeland Security Investigations, and they have other cities in Canada, Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, and Montreal, as well as Ottawa at the embassy. So they have offices, but they are not ICE. They are Homeland Security Investigations, HSI. And what they do is they work with Canadian authorities, the RCMP, I'm imagining, would be the major one, or maybe CSIS, on investigations regarded to organized crime, to drug smuggling, and to criminal activity back and forth in both our countries. I don't see a problem. We've off long time shared this sort of practice of cooperation between law enforcement in Canada and law enforcement in the United States to help for the betterment of both countries. And I don't think that Canadians have a problem with that. What we do have a problem with is masked men running around um, pulling people out of vehicles and out of their homes and out of their workplaces and off the sides of the street and dragging them, punching them, kicking them, handcuffing them. And I'm not talking about immigrants, I'm talking about American citizens, and throwing them into vehicles and whisking them away and dropping them off wherever. It's shocking, really. It's been shocking for us to witness this on television. And thank God that people have had Americans have had the God, just the courage to stand there and record these people, because just standing and recording, you could become a victim of ICE in the United States as an American citizen. And so, but thank God they have, so that we've seen the worst of the worst. And I think this is what, irks Canadians when they see a headline like, "Oh, ICE is in Canada." Oh my God, what do you mean ICE is in Canada? Well, it's a form within the whole operation of Homeland Security, which ICE is. And it's not ICE. There's no masked men running around with guns. They don't have guns. They don't have the right to arrest people in Canada. They don't have any rights. They're here to work with Canadian law enforcement on things that are going on with organized drugs and cartels and criminals, all sorts of things like that. So I say no. We can't jump on the headline about ICE being in Canada, but God forbid our country ever becomes what we've seen in the United States with these guys, because it's just, I think globally it's just around the world people are seeing this and thinking, oh my God, what the hell is going on in the United States of America? I think the Trump administration, they're going to be influenced by people and by voting. We'll see what happens over the next the midterms this year, and what happens to their funding. These guys have more funding than the FBI and the CIA combined, I think. So we'll see what happens with all of this, but it's really not a good look. Have the day you deserve.